Only been a few hours, but it felt like days. Only been days, but it felt like months. Been gone for a year, only know like once. Life moves fast when you...
Hey y'all, welcome back to GURLLLL podcast. I'm your host, Adeline Lees. In today's topic, we will be discussing sacrifice now and thank yourself later. Okay? I was thinking about everything I've accomplished at a young age and also sacrificing fun to now living in fun. If you guys are interested, keep on listening and keep on watching. This is GURLLLL podcast. Hey y'all. I hope you guys have an amazing weekend. Okay, I know mine was fun. Um, so I was thinking to myself, I'm always thinking to myself, but that's how I make, great episodes. I was really thinking to myself, like, I need to pat myself on the back because in my early 20s, I sacrificed so much time of just hanging out, having fun in my undergrad years, and basically having a time of my life now. Basically, I am benefiting from all the sacrifices I had, and now I'm reaping the benefits, if that's how you say it. So I wrote down the power of starting early and trusting the sacrifice. Looking back, I realized finishing college in my early 20s was one of the best decisions I've ever made. Life is basically getting harder, but I am happier because the foundation I built at an early age. I also wrote down that sometimes it is hard to see the vision when you are at the state where you're basically grinding, but to actually live the life you knew, like, yo, if I do this now, I'm going to benefit later. It's a blessing. It really is. Like, it really is a blessing. And I don't want people to say, like, well, sometimes things happen and people can't do what they need to do at an early age. And that's why they start in like their mid 30s or whatever. It doesn't matter when you start, as long as you finish. But I'm just speaking for me, speaking for Adeline, that I'm happy that I built a mindset of like, I could have fun later. Let me thrive now. Let me hustle now. Let me be on grind mode now. So basically, I could reap the benefits later on in life. And I'm happy that my mom installed that in me at a young age because looking back at it, I hated undergrad. I hated undergrad. I hated undergrad. I hated undergrad. I hated it. And don't get me wrong, I'm happy that I graduated with my bachelor's, but undergrad, ooh, child, your girl was stressing. I was stressing. Like who hasn't, right? But I was really stressing. I was like, this ain't for me, Lord. Like I might just take a break. But I know if I had taken a break and I didn't stick to it all those years, I would have never went back to school. I kid you not. I would have never went back to school. But I'm so happy I stuck with it. I didn't take any breaks, any semesters off, and I went through and through with it. And I am happy because like I said, I'm benefiting from it. And it got me thinking, like, damn, yo, where would I be if I didn't, you know, focus, if I wasn't focused, if I wasn't doing what I need to do in my early 20s? Where would I be? And I really have to pat myself on the back for that because I work so hard. And I really want people to understand that the earlier you start, the better, yes, but sometimes it's not as beneficial and it's not the reality for some people. But the message I have for people is that even if you start at an early age, even if you start at a younger age, at a older age, it doesn't matter when you start, right? It doesn't matter when you start. It's about getting to the finish line, okay? It's about sacrificing all those sleep, fun, going out, all those things to now benefiting from it. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not saying that I didn't have a little fun when I was 20, of course, but I just had my priorities set, right? I knew that there was a bigger picture that needed to be painted, and I had to keep going. I had to keep fighting, even though there was times where I didn't want to wake up, that I didn't want to, finish. I just want to quit. Child, Whew, that's that's another story for a different day. But it just got me thinking like, yo, it doesn't matter who you are, right? It doesn't matter where you come from. It's about setting your priorities straight and making sure that you are disciplined and consistent at the time you need it the most. And I am so happy that I did that for myself, right? I also wrote down, I made a post a couple days ago on my Instagram and I said, thank God I finished undergrad at an early age because I wouldn't be able to do that shit now. Now that I'm getting older, my body's changing. My attention span is changing. Everything is changing. My patience is changing. And I'm like, yo, if I was supposed to do undergrad at this time of my life, I'll be crashing. I will be crashing. I'll be crashing the fuck out. Cause yo, don't get me wrong, there's people my age are doing their masters and probably doing their PhD. I get it. But I'm talking about to starting, like, basically not starting over, but basically starting fresh as a undergrad. No. Hell no. Are you crazy? No, I wouldn't be able to do that. I mean, I'm working. I'm working a full-time job. A full-time job. And so now go to school, write papers, take exams at this time of my life. No. Like, I don't have my master's. And I always tell people like, oh, you should go back for your master's. No. No. I don't want to do that. Because I just don't want to. But I am okay where I'm at. Maybe later down the line I might do it. My master's. But right now in my life, hell no. Hell no. Absolutely not. Are you crazy? I am exhausted when I come from work. Dealing with all these students that I'm dealing with. High school students at that? Child, no. I'm sorry. Hell no. But the point of everything, it doesn't matter if you want to be a teacher, a nurse. It doesn't matter what stepping stone you are at right now. But just know everything takes time and patience and sacrifice. And you will thank yourself later. You will thank yourself later. I'm telling you, you will really thank yourself later. I'm not over exaggerating. Because the older I get, the more I realize and take accountability. Like, listen, I was always crashing out when I was in undergrad. I was always doubting myself. I was always thinking like things couldn't get done, and it did. And it did. But it's because I put the time and effort in. And I need anybody, well, I said anybody, I need everyone to realize that in order for you to succeed in something, you will have to make sacrifices. You will have to be disciplined. You will have to be consistent. And it doesn't matter what age you are, things have to be done. Okay? And I was speaking to my younger brother. He's also in college right now. And he said there's a lot of older people that are in his classes, same when I was in college, but they realized like, yo, if they would have started earlier, it would have been beneficial for them. But like I said, things happen. But it's never too late. It is never too late. And I was like, I would never forget, there was this cute old man in my sophomore year in college. And it was this cute old man that was in my math class, and he needed his degree because he wanted a promotion at his job. I will never forget this man. He was so old and cute. I think he was like in his late 50s or early 60s. He was just like short and chubby and so adorable. And he really gave us like a life lesson. Like, he's here because he wants to get paid more at his job, but he has a family to raise. He has a family that depends on him. So it's like he has to go back to school. So the sacrifices he's making is like, hey, I'm going to work, but after work, I know I have to come to class. And I love that. I was like, oh my God, that's so adorable. And it had me thinking like, damn, like you have not only you are a father, you are a husband, but you work a full-time job and you're sacrificing time to now go back to school and get a degree. And I love that. I really did. And he always said it's never too late. It's never too late. It's going to get difficult because you're older, but it's never too late. You're going to thank yourself later in the long run. And I love that message he had for us. I was like, you right, sir. You right. I forgot his name, but you right. You right. He dad looked like, I remember the cartoon back in the day, Franklin the turtle. He looked like his grandfather. And I was like, oh my God, he's so adorable. But anyway, I'm here to tell you guys anything you are trying to pursue or you are already pursuing, please just put your head down and work, 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 work. Whether you have to sacrifice time, whether you have to sacrifice your weekends, your sleep, it will all benefit you in the long run, okay? It will always benefit you in the long run. And I know I started off the video with saying, the younger you do it, the better it is for you, which is true. It is true. Listen, it is true. But it's never too late to start over. It's never too late to continue. So yeah, that is it for this week's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys loved it. And yeah, do not forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I will see you guys in the next one. Mwah. Love you guys. Bye.